You know, if Golden Blue Dude is late for a live show, it's not because of Golden Blue Dude. It was my stupid laptop. It took freaking forever for that thing to get uploaded. So, kind of scared because if I start glitching out majorly, I'm talking like more than usual, and I'll get off the laptop. I do want to do a call-in, but if it's super glitchy, then I'll do it from my phone, and we won't have a call-in. So, yeah, I'm kind of nervous about this one because my laptop has been acting weird for the past 15 minutes. That's why I'm late. Stupid laptop took forever. Yeah, I heard Lou canceled his call-in show tonight. Now, from what I was told, I don't know. This was from a secondhand source. It was because he was playing poker, which is fine. That's cool. So I don't know. But yeah, that I try not to. I don't want to compete against Lou or BVD or anybody else. So I've tried to pick nights where I don't compete with other people. That's why I picked Wednesdays and Saturday nights. But this is a special week because I'm going to have Martin from here to my parents' house because their Wi-Fi is super good. So I'm hoping, and y'all let me know if I get super glitchy, all right? I will switch from this over to my phone. Because I had a bad feeling because of how my computer was acting up, or laptop was acting up. So if it doesn't get any better, because we're all used to the buffer zone in the beginning. So if it doesn't get better in the next few minutes, I'll just have to switch over to my phone and do it from there. But usually the buffering clears up or so. How's my audio? Is it buffering too, or is it just the video? Is it everything that's buffering? Y'all let me know. Is the audio buffering? Is it just the video, or is the audio buffering as well? And if so, how bad are we buffering? I need help from you guys on this. I'm going to try to check it on my phone. I don't... Well, at least the audio's working. So I'll ask you guys, can y'all handle the video buffering, and we'll still do the call-in show, or do I need to switch over to my phone? What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about this? Are y'all good? Are y'all okay with the video buffering but the audio being fine, or do I need to switch over to my phone? I want to get you guys' input. I had a feeling. Jacob's saying, yeah, switch to my phone. What about everybody else? Dang, I was wanting to do a call in. Yeah, everybody's saying the video is really bad. Man, I hate this thing. Oh, man. Crap. Well, I think, hold on one second. I think Tiger Baskins is calling in already. Hold on. Yep. Hey, what's up, man?
Hello, sir. I don't know if you were on the show or not. I was going to call in.
Yeah, you're fine, man. they're saying the video's buffering really bad, but that the audio's fine. Some are saying I should switch to my phone, and some are saying they can handle it. So what do you think?
If you switch to your phone, how long would it take you to go back live again?
Oh, I could do it within a minute. But the thing is, I wouldn't be able to do a call in because I would be using my phone.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
All right, comment section. You got 30 seconds to decide. Do y'all want to be able to call in, or do you want to hear it? It's up to y'all. We'll let them decide. I can't see the comments right now, but...
All right, so we have, let's see. Talkus Pitt says switch, but his opinion doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. It does, but I count his opinion as a half an opinion. Let's see. Jacob Watson says I need to switch. J&J Outlaw Sports says I need to. But hold on. James says I'm all right. Calvino says he's cooking, so it doesn't matter to him. Brick says he's glad the video's bad. One of my favorite trolls. Welcome. Trolls are welcome
how about
too.
This?
Trolls are welcome too.
I think you should switch.
Okay.
But I'm still going to suggest if you will play the new rap song I made, because I apparently have gotten a lot of good reviews, and everybody seems to think that it's my favorite.
Wait.
Rap song so far.
Hold on. People are saying that we're good now. Hold on.
Oh.
Bill
Okay.
says you're good. Talkus Pitt says we're good. I'll bump him up to a full opinion now. So.
There you go. That's how you do it, Talkus Pitt. How you do it.
Yeah.
Is Tiger Baskins just magic? Is that what it is?
I think that's it. And
okay.
Talkus Pitt just raised his value as an opinion. Jim says he's not having any problems at all. I think we're starting to roll, man. I think we're starting to roll. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for calling in. You cleared it up.
Well, just real short on that, the reason I was able to make my audio and all better, I finally raised the volume on my voice so I don't have to try to scream, or yell into it. Now I can just actually go, and it helps the flow be better. It helps it be more smooth. So maybe at the end of the show you could play it. That way it's like in the,
Yeah. And a fellow Georgia fan, I know this opinion will matter a lot. He said, "We're good. We are good."
Well, hey, I'm just calling in. So you do your thing. You tell me what you need, or you throw whatever at me. I don't mind. Whatever you want to do, I'm down for it.
All right. Well. First things first, man, I got to let people know that they are officially right now a part of one of the fastest growing YouTube channels, sports related, there is right now. I have to let them know that. I have to. I had one of my best weeks.
Yeah, you definitely are.
I've had one of my best weeks ever. I went from 1,500 subscribers to 1,600 subscribers in 1 week. That is a good week for me. Yeah.
You definitely, and this is the thing that I appreciate about you, and I'm sure the comment section will agree. You being a West Virginia fan, people, they try to expect more out of you as far as college football knowledge, and you bring it. Like, that's the thing that you've done, is you actually bring that to the table. It's not like you're a Clemson fan. No offense to Pete. I love Pete to death. But it's not like you're just a Clemson fan and, there's so many of those fans out there that, you kind of get a viewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're a West Virginia fan, and a lot of your subscribers are fans of other teams.
Most, by far.
I'm a diehard Georgia fan, but yet I am somehow subscribed to Golden Blue Dude, West Virginia man, and I like it.
And really, the big thing was this past year, because I'll be honest with you, this time last year I was struggling to get to 200, and the people that I was talking to, they were like, you're good. That's still, you're still right at that curve. I was like, okay. They're like, now your next goal is to be at 500 by this time next year. I was like, okay, so I need to be at 500 this time next year. Well, instead of 500, I'm at 1,600. So
Let's go.
I'm really, really excited and happy about that.
That's awesome, dude. Well, you create good content. When you do that, it comes back to you.
And I had, you know what? I had a really, well, full honesty, I've never had a bad time on Lou's show. But this morning, I had one of the best times I've ever had with Lou. That was the most human that I've ever seen him be. And
Really?
that's not...
I'm going to have to watch it. I was at work this morning, so I didn't get to catch it.
Yeah, and you know that's no disrespect to him. He has a great character. Uncle Lou is a great character. We all know what it's about. Like I've said before, he is an acquired taste. But this morning, I saw a human side to him that I've never seen before, and it was really, really cool. It was really, really cool.
If you don't mind me asking, will you explain?
Well, basically, what I'm saying is, so we talked about, well, you know how COVID shut down concerts and all that stuff?
Yes.
Well, they're starting to open up concerts to the public. So we started talking about, you know, hey, what concerts are we planning to go to? I told him... me and my wife were going to a Garth because she's a big Garth, and he said, you know, he's been to one. It was awesome. Then we started talking about music and who we would go see. He went down a list of different bands that are opening up tours again. So we talked a little bit about that, and then he started a conversation of talking about my channel. He started it. He said, "Yeah, I watched." Yeah, exactly. He said, "I watched your." He said, "I watched your video about the FBI, West Virginia's FBI," and he said, he asked me, he's like, "How do you have the patience to do that many cuts?" Because whenever I do a video, and people that have been subbed to me for a while know that my videos are short, and the reason they're short is I cut them a lot. Whenever I'm done with the video and put it all together, it's probably a 30-minute video. But I've done research, and I know people's attention spans are something like 15 to 20 minutes, unless you're like just super engaging. And I'm not at that level yet. I can admit that. So I try to keep it to 12 minutes or so. So I cut it probably 150 times. And so, you know, he was just commenting on the fact that he commended me for having the patience and that it turns out good. It's not choppy, even though I cut it. So it was nice to hear Lou, you know, his human side where he appreciates something, which, like I said, no disrespect to him. We all know his character. He's really good at it. It just kind of hit me out of left field whenever we had that conversation. Like, man, it was like a friend-to-friend conversation, like, you know, I appreciate what you do. I know how hard it is, and it turned out pretty good. And it just made me feel really, really good.
Well, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of my boy, Lou.
Yeah,
I think it's got something to do with him being happy in his life, which I am so happy for him, dude. I know I don't even know him like that, but
right.
I'm so happy for Lou because I know he puts so much of his heart and soul into what he does. And so I remember that day that, I forgot what stream it was, but I remember him where he was kind of feeling down. And I remember he had a stream where he literally did nothing but play music the whole time.
Yep.
You could just tell everybody in the comment section, like, we all felt for him. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world is that Lou really does have real support. It's not just...
And he does have a heart, too.
Yes, he does. It's like the Grinch. Like, everybody thinks he doesn't have one, but it's actually 10 times bigger than everybody else's.
Yeah, and that's what people don't realize about the Slob Olympics. Like, that really didn't benefit as far as growing his channel. Yes, he had fun, and it was awesome, but that helped everybody else that was there, all of us that had smaller channels. That was actually the last push that I needed to get to 1,000. And I know that he knew that was going to happen, and he made that sacrifice and wanted to see all of us get bigger. He wants all of us to succeed. He's not trying to, even though he comes off as, you know, well, an asshole. That's
Yeah, a good asshole. Though.
yeah, but a good one. But
Well,
he does have a
I
heart.
don't even know if he read my. I don't know if he read my comment, but I'm paying for one of his nights. When we go to Slob Olympics this next year, I'm paying for one of his nights. And I honestly think a lot of people that go, we should all pitch in and try
Yeah.
to pay for his whole weekend.
I agree.
Because that dude is the freaking man. Like,
Well,
he really is.
You know what? Now that I'm getting paid by YouTube, that's a good idea. I'm gonna take one of my paychecks, and it should be more than enough to cover one of his nights.
Pay for, that would be awesome.
Or I could cover like his meals or something like that. We could like all make it to where he stays there for free. Like somebody take care of. Like here's how it could be. Like I don't expect any one person to pay for his entire stay, but like one person could cover one night, depending on how many nights he stays there, and then another person another night, and then we could have it to where one person covers one day of food, gas. There is enough of us out here to where we can make that happen. One person is responsible for one day. It's either the room, food, or gas, and Lou goes for free.
My goal, I'm bringing my grill up there, and
nice.
So my goal is, I've already talked to like Lost Aggie and a few other people. They're all going to pitch in money. I'm going to pitch in money too, and I'm going to bring up probably 2 or 3 Boston butts, maybe some brisket, and try to have food for everybody. Like we can all go out to eat if we want to, but that way nobody has to worry about what they're eating throughout the day. You know, we could just have barbecue sandwiches for everybody or pulled pork sandwiches. I think that would be a really neat thing to do. Make it easier and more convenient on everybody. We
have somebody in the chat. American Football Network says, "I will donate some money." So we have people in towards Lou.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up something to where people can donate to that, and we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this happen.
I agree. That would be freaking awesome. But there's only one thing to this. If we all get this set up and we get Lou's entire stay played for, I get to play and break his ankle.
Repeat that. You kind of broke up there for a second.
I said, if this happens and we get everything paid for, then I own the desk to play Lou one-on-one in basketball, and I get to break his ankle.
That's fair. That is fair. And I think he would agree with that. Because he did, he did subject himself to competition where he got beat in the slobs. He, in the what was it, 40-yard dash, push-ups, and he got beat in some of those. But you know what? He had fun, and he wasn't scared to lose. He doesn't like to lose, but he wasn't scared to lose. There's a difference there.
Agreed completely. And I'm sorry we got so off subject. Comment section. Yeah.
No, they're saying this is a great show, dude. They're saying this is a great show. We're right on track, man.
Okay, good. Well, to just, I guess, to further that, I do want the Slob Olympics to be fun for people who are competing and people who are not competing, because what all of this has done for me, what this whole YouTube community has done for me, it has given me not just an outlet to talk about college football. I honestly feel like in the first time in my 28 years of life that I've actually been able to be myself.
Exactly.
And that you can't put a price on that. You can't put a price tag on that. So I'm just, that's my whole deal, y'all, is if I can make somebody else's life easier, if I can make their life more convenient, then that's what I'm trying to do. That's the whole goal in my life, is to help somebody else. So that means helping Lou. It'd be more convenient for him, then so be it. But if we also get to help somebody else, we're going to do that too.
And you don't even realize that you're making this show one hell of a show too.
Well, thank you, buddy.
You really are. And the chat section is showing you some love, man.
Well, I can't see the chat right now. I'll probably be able to see it in like the next 30 seconds because I just got to the house. But No,
That,
a
that's
lot
why
of these
that's why I'm
people.
updating you. I got you, man. I got you.
Thank you. Well, a lot of these people know, because I do come into the comment section a lot whenever I'm on. A lot of these people know, like, I am for real about it. Like, I really do keep up with people and make sure that I talk to people and reach out to people, and I appreciate it because they see it. It
Yeah.
doesn't go unseen to them. So that's what I mean. That's why I love this whole YouTube community. Is just everybody on here. They enjoy it. They really do. It's their getaway too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and another thing, I don't know about you, but whenever I started this YouTube thing, not in my wildest dreams did I realize there was a community like this. Like, this is a real freaking community that people watch each other's back. And yes, there's drama within the community sometimes, but overall, everybody really does care about each other.
yeah, no, you're that's so true. You can tell. You can tell just from people's actions. Like,
Yeah,
getting on here and watching somebody's show is an action.
it is.
You know.
They're
And
literally
that's why I
supporting me
love,
by watching. And you.
Yeah, exactly. No, agreed completely.
By the way,
Comment section. I am finally here. By the way.
yeah. The person everybody's been waiting on, which, by the way, y'all need to write this down. Maybe he can type it in the comment section as well. But whenever you're done with this live show, don't forget to go check out Tiger Baskins and hit the subscribe button. Super easy and super free. It's that simple.
Yes. Thank you. Come again.
No problem, man. No problem.
Well, hey, let's get on some college football, dude. I've
Let's
been
do
looking
it.
forward to this, for real.
Let's do it. All right, so
I'm gonna let you start. Yes, sir.
I don't know. Did you see my video for today as far as the FPI for the SEC East?
No, sir. When I got home from work, I had to go straight and train. I had 3 basketball sessions today, and I got done, and your notification popped up you were going live. So.
Okay. That's fine. That actually works out pretty good because basically that video was about, well, the way I like to break it down is me versus the FPI. In other words, my predictions versus the FPI predictions. And it was really crazy what I came across. Maybe it's not so crazy to you, but in my eyes it is. So, all right, here we go. FPI has Georgia going 11-1, which I do as well. I'm fine with that. But
Okay.
the game against Clemson, they only give Georgia a 28.7% chance of winning. I will say, I have Clemson beating Georgia. I do. But I think they have way better of a chance than 28.7% to beat Clemson. Now,
I know, but me and you talked about that before. It's because Georgia's not on that level yet of winning national championships, and Clemson's won a few.
well,
So-
I get that, but whenever I looked at what goes into the FPI, one of the things is, number 1, recruiting class, number 2, coaching. You're checking the boxes so far, and
Sure.
how much each unit is going to contribute to points. And I think Georgia's going to have one of the best offenses in the nation. Now, the defense, secondary, work in progress, but much better than what y'all were expecting. Before y'all got them transfers, y'all were sweating that secondary out just a little bit. You got some transfers. It's looking much better. I think the defense is solid now. So, in my opinion, that number needs to be updated now. And I know throughout the season, games happen, and that number does get updated. But seeing as how what everything has happened for Georgia, the number needs to be updated. I would go Clemson, but I would still give Georgia a 45% chance of winning. Just
okay. I would say
slightly
that.
under a coin flip. Just slightly under a coin flip.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. 40 to 45%. I would give you that realistically.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is due to I do not know how good Clemson is going to be without Trevor Lawrence. That's all. I don't know. I mean, I know people can say, well, they won one before he got there, and it's like, you guys won one when everybody else was just getting into the offense scores points.
Right. Exactly.
Because that was right before Kirby left Alabama. That's when Alabama was holding people to 10, 14 points a game.
Yep.
Now Alabama doesn't do that.
Okay, so
they literally play teams and give up 40, 50 points.
People need to know this. Give them a heads up. The quarterbacks that Kirby Smart has had to work with before JT Daniels, and we all know about the Justin Fields bad decision, whatever. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the actual quarterbacks that he had quarterbacking his offense.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, we didn't get to talk about Georgia last night, and I know we had a few people ask. Georgia has played with a very just average standard quarterback play, and what I mean by that is we have tried to win games with the game manager style quarterback, but that's a thing of the past. That's the A.J. McCarron. That's the
what Alabama used to do.
A.J. McCarron.
The A.J.
Yes, exactly.
The A.J. McCarron. That's all you have to say.
Well, I mean, think about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is an average quarterback. I mean, not saying he's not above average. You know, he definitely got drafted higher than Jake Fromm and A.J. McCarron and them, but Jalen got his job taken. There's a reason for that. That's just because he was a game manager quarterback who could run. So that made him above average because average was just not being able to run and just managing a team.
Right.
So if Jake Fromm could run, he'd be Jalen Hurts. If he could run fast, he would be that. So I'm just, after watching them play and then them literally saying Tua's the man, the same way that Clemson wins a national championship and the following year they take their quarterback and Trevor Lawrence, who's a freshman, and go, y'all are going to compete for the starting job. That's it. Trevor won it.
Hey, hold on one second. I'm going to try to do something real quick. See if I can post my... Because I finally figured out how to... So I'm going to step away from the mic just in case there's some reverb.
Okay.
Let's see if this works here.
While he is stepping away from the mic, y'all.
I don't know if they can hear you.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Let's see if this works. All right, so I posted the link to my PayPal account. Should be in the chat momentarily. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to try to do when are the slobs? They're in April, right?
Oh, March.
March. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is whatever I get donated to my PayPal account, I am gonna put. What percent should I put on there? That's gonna go to Lou. Is 20 too low or is 20 good? What do you think?
No, I could say 20% now until then. I mean, that's perfect almost. You can even go lower.
So there you go. There's the link to my PayPal account. Whatever you send to me, of course, some of it will go back into the show and, you know, background lighting, all that stuff. It does take money to keep the show running. But what I'm going to do from now until the Slob Olympics, 20% of what I get in my PayPal account from my subscribers or whoever's in my chat or whatever is going to go towards Lou's stay in the Slob Olympics next year.
I love it.
HP, if necessary, I will go up to 25%. How about that? It depends on how much. I'm going to adjust that depending on the number.
Okay, I want to reach out to Totally Not Depressed. He said a second-string quarterback at Alabama is a school record breaker everywhere else. I mean, you're not wrong.
No,
I mean, second-string quarterback from Georgia, Justin Fields was a second-string quarterback at Georgia. He went to Ohio State and broke records.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, second string is not the normal second string like it used to be. Because
especially
now
in the
people
SEC.
are over-recruiting. Yes. They're over-recruiting now. Now people are saying, I want my second, third, and fourth string guy to be just as good as my first, so when the first string guy leaves, we don't have a drop-off.
Right.
And if you're an Alabama fan, which I know totally is, a lot of these guys are, Alabama does not have to rebuild. They reload. Literally, the next guy up is just as good. He's trying to go to the draft just like the guy in front of him was. So I get what you're saying by that totally, but not everybody else is blessed with that much talent.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Alabama should win every game. You have so much talent at every position, almost the way people are treating Georgia right now. Everybody's saying it's national championship or bust because now people are finally giving Georgia credit for having too much talent.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
What's up, bud?
Jeffrey Russell Jr. says Georgia is going to compete this year. Dark horse. First part of that comment correct. Last part of that comment incorrect. They're not a dark horse. They are expected to make some noise this year.
Agreed.
I expect Georgia to make the playoffs. Continue, sir.
I'll finish about Alabama, and then I'll go to Georgia, and then we can start picking out some teams in the comment section that they want us to talk about.
All right.
Alabama, to me, their big question mark this year is not just the quarterback; it's the offense. Because the offense is loaded. They literally have, 5 stars all over the board. But can you put it together? I know you have in the past, but in the past, every backup quarterback that you have had has had game experience.
I think the biggest, and I hate to say this because I'm not trying to jinx you, I really am not, but the biggest thing that concerns me is JT Daniels' health. That is the biggest thing that concerns me especially after, George Pickens injured himself, which Georgia is fine at wide receiver. They're loaded. But what I'm saying is I hope that trend doesn't continue. That would be bad.
No, I agree. But I'll say this. The 2 quarterbacks that we have behind JT Daniels would whoop Jake Fromm's ass in a fishing tournament. So I'm not worried about it.
There you go.
And the reason I say that, I know we might not win a national championship with those guys,
Right.
but if Jake Fromm can take Georgia to a national championship and take Alabama into overtime, Alabama beat us. They did. But they barely beat us. No team in the nation can say that. Oh, Alabama barely beat. No, they beat the brakes off of you.
Yeah.
And we had Jake Fromm at quarterback, and they barely beat us. So these, like Brock Vandagriff, that he's electric. Does he know the offense yet? Probably not. But my point is, I feel that our quarterback room is so good that Jake Fromm would not be able to compete in it.
Well, that's a good
that's
point.
The part where I'm like,
that's a good problem to have right there. That is a good problem to have.
you were talking about what?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you were talking about Alabama's quarterbacks. When Tua got hurt, Mac Jones finally got playing time.
Exactly.
Mac Jones got to play. He got to play a few games. So that's my point of this new guy that Bryce. I think it's Bryce Jones or Bryce something. Bryce Hall, whoever it is that their quarterback is now.
Bryce
this
Young.
is the first time in almost 4 or 5 years that Alabama will have a quarterback who is going to start who has not had game experience yet.
Right.
So I'm just saying Alabama better not slip up in those first 4 games. I know when they get hot, they'll get hot, and then they won't lose. But if they slip up to a Western opponent, and that Western opponent takes it all the way, we won't be seeing Alabama in the SEC championship.
That's a good take right there.
They'll still make the playoff. They'll still make the playoff because they've done it before. They weren't in the SEC championship, turned around and made the playoff. We had to play them in the playoff. We lost. So
I got you. Well, we're gonna get back to the SEC East, but I saw an interesting comment a few seconds ago. I don't remember who it was. Hold on, let me scroll up a second. Hold on, give me 1 second here. Okay. Jonathan Miller says, I think Oklahoma can win the CFP this year because of Rattler. Even though I disagree with you, I love your content. Well, I don't actually disagree with that. I think Oklahoma has a really good chance at winning the national championship. In fact, my national championship game is Oklahoma versus Georgia. What's your take on Oklahoma?
I think the only national championship that Oklahoma will have is for the most amount of players arrested in 1 year.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
So, yeah, I'm not. And the only reason I say that, I'm sure that's created a little turmoil, a little drama within their program.
Yeah, that's true.
So the first bad thing that happens, they're just going to add that on top. To me, honestly, I see it being Alabama and Georgia again. I think Clemson will be up there, and I know their quarterback, DJ Ukulele.
Yeah.
I I know that he's really good, so it's going to be Georgia, Alabama, or Clemson. I will be surprised if there's another team. Too many teams are in rebuild mode. Auburn's in rebuild mode. Florida, they're not even in rebuild mode. They're in clown mode right now.
Florida's about to fall off a cliff. I am trying to warn everybody. I'm trying to warn all my Florida subscribers. This is not hate. This is not me trash talking you. I'm trying to warn you. You are in for a big fall this year. It's happening.
Florida, the stock market is in better shape than Florida is.
Yes. Well, I mean, just
true.
look at it. Okay, so last year they had one of their best offenses that they've ever had, and they still managed to pick up 4 losses. They lost to A&M and Alabama convincingly. Those were 2 solid losses.
Dan Mullen will not grow a set. He will not grow a pair and fire his D coordinator. He won't bring somebody in.
They didn't have a defense last year, so they had Alabama and A&M as 2 solid losses. No excuses. Then you had the LSU game where he threw the shoe that cost him the game. That's still on the coaching as far as discipline. And then, of course, the bowl, half the team didn't show up, whatever. But still, 4 losses with one of the best offenses in the nation, and Florida lost pretty much the entire offense from last year. And Florida fans think that their defense this year is going to somehow magically get, elite. That's not how it works, guys.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And Huffer Billy Paul made a good point about DJ's health. DJ can be 100% right now, but if he goes down at all, whether it's an ankle injury or something small and they have to play the backup, Clemson has 2 backup quarterbacks who have a chance at being drafted. I don't know if they were or not, but one of them's an incoming freshman. He had a chance of getting drafted out of high school. The other one is a freshman, has a chance of getting drafted. The other 2 behind them are walk-on quarterbacks. So I don't know what Dabo was doing, if he just tried to maybe create a gap between DJ and the next couple of quarterbacks coming in, but
that's interesting.
He's walking on thin ice. Well, yeah, it is, because Jacob Eason was our starting quarterback, and he got hurt. Jake Fromm comes in, and he had to pause his fishing and hunting game and took us to a national championship. Backup took us to a national championship.
That's true. People forget about that. That is very true. All right, so next, let's see. I'm trying to make up my... You know what? Did we cover Florida enough, or do you want to talk about them a little bit more?
Okay. So look, guys, my favorite player right now in Florida, and of course I'm biased because of this, is Brenton Cox. He's a DN that transferred from Georgia. When he was at Georgia, I think this was 2 years ago he was at Georgia. Maybe 3. But Brenton Cox was one that he almost led our team in sacks. We had about 3 guys that were at about 7, 8 sacks on the year. He was one of them. And when he moved to Florida, his whole goal was he wanted more playing time. And I don't blame him. But one guy is not going to win you a game.
Right.
And so for me, I don't think that Florida has recruited well enough at other positions to allow Brenton Cox to be able to do his thing.
Right.
So it's kind of a win-win for Brenton to get more, snaps, but at the same time, you're not so focused on everybody else that Brenton slips through and gets a sack. Now you're only focused on him because not really many other people on the defense are good.
Oh, man. So, when I look at the FPI, if you go by the percentage that they give Florida winning their games, they have Florida going 10-2. So I have a big problem with that. The 3 wins that I have as losses are at Kentucky. I think they lose that game. FPI doesn't think so. At LSU, I definitely think they lose there as well. And then maybe a toss-up game at Missouri at the end of the year. But the reason that I think that road trip to Missouri could improve as far as a upset is because maybe some depression going on. Maybe, they're not playing for anything, something like that, and Missouri could catch them napping. because I think Kentucky and LSU are both going to be better than Missouri, but they will have already beaten up on Florida to where Missouri could also grab an upset.
Yeah, and you know that Missouri, the reason that they're such a big deal right now is because they're bringing back a lot of their talent, and they had a decent year last year, so that's why everybody keeps being high on them. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Florida, because knowing Florida, Dan Mullen's going to get into some type of drama again. He's going to cry about something again, like, blah, 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 and then everybody's going to clown him, and then they're going to go into that game at the end of the year, and he's not going to care. Just like he did the bowl game this past year.
Exactly. So that's actually a good segue into Missouri. Now, the FPI, this shocked me, to be honest with you. The FPI has Missouri going 6-6. So, they're 6 losses, okay, at Kentucky. I actually agree with that. Number one, I think Kentucky will be the better team, and it's on the road. I'm fine with that. At Boston College, I disagree with that. Let's see. Yeah. At Georgia, they will get hammered at Georgia. The home game against Florida, I think they'll win that game. At Arkansas, I know that will be a tough road game at Arkansas, but I do think that Missouri is the better team right now. Now, if you were to ask me this same question, Missouri at Arkansas next year, I would take Arkansas because Arkansas is on their way up. They're not there yet, but they are on their way up. I'm trying to find the last one. Well, the home game against Texas A&M, I agree with. So I guess the 3 that I don't agree with are at Boston College, the home game against Florida, and at Arkansas. And I know Arkansas could end up being a toss-up game, but still, that's still at least 8-4, if not 9-3, not 6-6.
Yeah, agreed. And this is 2 things. Somebody said earlier that you were trending on YouTube, which is freaking awesome, by the way.
That's great. I didn't even know that. Awesome.
That is very good. And second, somebody said that they agree with our Missouri being better than Florida. Being that prediction, just because a lot of people have seen that, and we also see that Florida. Kyle Pitts made their team so electric last year.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know who they have this year to replace that. So that's kind of the question mark with Florida. Florida's just a bunch of question marks, to be honest.
And Jeffrey, the same guy that I quoted earlier in the comment section, he says Arkansas is going to surprise people again this year, I think. I agree with that. That's not that. I wasn't saying anything like that. I'm saying the matchup with Missouri, I think Missouri is the better team. Now, it being at Arkansas, of course, that favors Arkansas. But I do have Arkansas getting to a bowl either at 6-6 or 7-5. I do not think that they will be at the bottom of the SEC West this year. I think that will belong to Mississippi State, which I think is the same thing that happened last year. I think Mississippi State was at the bottom last year. But I think Arkansas has the chance to also be above LSU. But as far as this year goes, I think that's the farthest they go. But 6-6 or 7-5, getting to a bowl, beating Texas, I think that's still a pretty good year.
Dude, that's an amazing year. Okay, well, hey, dude, okay, good. What's next then? Hit me with it. This has been awesome.
All right, well, the last team in the SEC East that I talked about, Kentucky. Let's see. FPI has them going 8-4. Now, that's actually not a terrible prediction. This might blow your mind, what I'm about to tell you. I think Kentucky has a legitimate shot at having a 10-win season this year. I really, really do.
Okay, I'm going to go right back to Kentucky, but Pizza Woman hit it on the head. She said Miami will be skull-drugged by Bama, whether you like it or not. Alabama will impregnate Miami, give them Plan B, and then turn around and do it again, and still not pay child support. That's what they're going to do.
I slightly disagree with that. I think Alabama will win, and I think they will win convincingly. I'm going to say 2 scores. the way that I think this game is going to go is, number one, Alabama will never not be in control of this game. They will be in control of this game, but they don't have the offense that they had last year. So the way this game is going to go that I see in my head is Alabama will get off to a 2-score lead right off the bat. Miami will score some points, and it'll be Miami playing catch-up the entire game. I just think Miami is too talented for it to be an actual blowout. I do think that Alabama will control the game. The game will never be in doubt. And when we see the final score, we're going to think to ourselves, man, this was a bigger blowout than what the score indicates. Because it will, Alabama will control the entire game. I just think Miami will be able to put up some points, and they're too talented to be totally, annihilated.
The only reason that's hard for me to agree with is I've heard that from about so many other teams when playing against Alabama.
That's
true. And all of them keep it close in the first half, and then Nick Saban makes his adjustments and does his scientific experiments in the locker room, and then they come out and then hold your team to 7 points in the second half, and then they put up 38. So I see it being close in the first half, but the second half I think is going to be the tell. That's going to be the one where it's like, boy, and honestly, if Alabama's defense gets to De'Aaron King, then I think it's over from the get-go. Miami, they have to have a good offensive line.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they could do some damage right off the bat.
I don't know what Miami's offensive line looks like. That's why it's hard because I haven't heard anything about their offensive line.
I gotcha. All right, so
but yeah, back to Kentucky. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Kentucky doesn't have a quarterback in stone yet. They say they do, but they really don't.
Right.
They're not very great at the passing game, so it's hard to say that they're going to be anything more than what they were.
Well, here's the thing.
Throwing the ball downfield.
Here's the thing. They bring back a great defense. I think they'll be second behind Georgia as far as defense goes. Run game, going to be excellent. Possibly the best in the East, even better than Georgia. But you are correct about their quarterback. The thing is, the starting quarterback that they did lose wasn't all that great. So I don't think there will be a drop-off, but you did hit the nail on the head. Can there be an actual improvement? Now, what I'm hearing is that this quarterback battle is pretty good and that there will be improvement. So I'm trusting those sources, and I'm putting it all together, not just the quarterback thing. That's kind of the piece that was missing. So I'm going by those sources. And a good defense, best running game in the SEC, schedule, very manageable. That's why I think Kentucky, that was one of the big things too, the schedule, very manageable. I think Kentucky has a legitimate shot at 10 wins. Let's see, they get Missouri at home, they get Florida at home, they get LSU at home. The only tough road games at Georgia, maybe at South Carolina. That can be tough, but South Carolina's going to be horrible. And then the rivalry game at Louisville.
Don't have a lot to deal with.
They don't have
Well, I think South Carolina's going to lose a few recruits just off of that player posing like. Posing as Minnie Mouse, whatever you want to call it.
And I think Louisville's not a bowl team either. So that's what I'm saying. Like, their schedule, their only hard-clad losses that I see at Georgia, maybe the home game against LSU. I don't know. But that road trip to Georgia is the only game that I see on their schedule that I'm like, yeah, that's a loss for sure. Everything else, very winnable. Very winnable. It's
almost one of those where it depends on the other team. If LSU gets their crap together this year, then LSU will blow out Kentucky. But if they don't, Kentucky's beating them. And
it is in Kentucky. It's not in Death Valley. That makes a big difference too. That's what I'm saying. They get Missouri, Florida, and LSU at home this year. And they don't have to play Ole Miss or Alabama or Texas A&M.
I know. And Jacob Yoop, I don't know how to pronounce your name, buddy, but he says, plus De'Aaron King coming off of a really nasty injury,
Yep.
it takes somebody a year to get back to their old self. Now, I kind of agree, but JT Daniels came back in his first game threw 400 yards on somebody. Now,
There you go.
granted, he was healthy after our first game and didn't play till game 6. So maybe if he would have come back his second game against Alabama, he would have looked sloppy. Maybe that was Kirby's doing of trying to keep him safe and not kind of show that. I don't know. We'll find out this year. But I get where you're going with that, and I kind of agree with you, dude.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so it is the 11 o'clock hour, so I'm going to give some other people a chance to call in. So this is what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure, big dog.
This is what I want to do, though. This is a great setup. I like it. Every call-in show, I want to assign at least 30 minutes for you to talk. It might go to an hour like it did tonight, and that's fine. And then we'll have other call-ins after that. But I definitely want to designate some time for you because it goes really, really well. I think we bounce stuff off of each other very effortlessly, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I like it. We're going to make this a thing.
Well, thank you, young Padawan. I appreciate it.
When your schedule allows it. Like, if you have to work or something like that, just let me know. No problem.
No, dude, I appreciate it. Jeff Webster, tell me the number. I'm going to type it in the comment section.
Hold on a second. 509
Gotcha.
906
906, yes, sir.
2583. Just wait.
2583.
Y'all just make sure to wait until Tiger Baskins gets off the phone. I only have one line, so it's first come, first serve. So if I don't answer the phone, that means somebody else is on, and you'll just have to try to be faster than the other person. That's the best I can do right now until I get a sound warrant. I apologize,
Oh, good. Well,
but it is what it is,
well, thank you, Mr. Golden Blue Dude, for having me again. This was fun, as it always is.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Webster gets to call in. He's one of my favorite callers, too.
Let's get to it.
Yeah. Anyways, peace out, y'all. Tiger Baskins is about to be in the comment section.
That's right, so look out for him.
Bud.
See you, bud. Awesome stuff.
Call from.
Hey, it's Rick.
Golden Blue Dude, what's up?
Hey, so this is Rich. I'm just calling to the GBD group.
All right, I'm here.
So I just wanted to make sure everybody has a good picture of this whole Bama Miami game. I think y'all jumped past a little bit. Kentucky's going to be great, by the way. I
Yep.
think they're going to be the one team.
I agree.
honestly, that will shock people, much like I think BC will in the ACC. Those are, if you want to talk about.
Sorry, Jeff. Somebody's already on the line. Sorry, Jeff's trying to beep in. You'll have to wait just a minute. Sorry.
Sure.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. When you start looking at this Bama-Miami game, there's so many storylines or tendrils to it. And I don't think that Miami's going to just I don't think they're going to be beat by a lot. I think everybody thinks this is a 16-point, 15-point game, maybe even a 21-point game.
Yeah.
I think when they get through, it'll be less than single digits when they
Oh.
lose. Now Miami's going to lose. I mean, I'm going to lose.
Right.
I'm not going to, but they're not going to lose bad. So I kind of get a little concerned when people just give Bama a pass like that. Yeah, Saban's great, and it's his first game. But this is the year where he's going to get scared on the first game. Coming. And they better be ready. And Miami is going to be ready because they got to know. They posted the spread up on the locker room. I guarantee you that they're going to have 18.5.
Yeah.
They don't respect it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Miami, that's what I told TB. Miami's too talented, and not just that, but Bama lost too much. The combo of those two things makes me think that it's going to be a close game. Now, like you, I think Alabama will win this. I personally don't think there will ever be any doubt in the game. I think they'll win comfortably, but I don't think this is just going to be some, behind the woodshed beatdown. I think Miami will be competitive and will put up some points.
Yeah. I don't think – I think in the second half there won't be any doubt. I think in the first
Yeah.
half there will be doubt.
Depth.
Because after that, I think Saban goes, enough of this nonsense.
Yeah.
And he'll fix it because that's his Bama, and they're good, and he's good. But
Yeah.
that being said, I don't think Miami's going to go. They're not going to punch him. I mean, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it's going to give them a lot of confidence too, getting into the ACC and going through the year. So,
Yeah,
but
I know.
BC is another one. Yeah, BC and Boston College is a really, really sneaky good team.
They're going to be very interesting to watch. I agree with that. I have them finishing third or fourth. I still think, well, of course, Clemson, but I still think NC State's gonna have that second spot. But personally, I think that third spot's going to be between. It's going to be a fight between Florida State and Boston College. That's who I think is going to be fighting over that third spot.
Yeah, I agree with the potential for NC State, and it's just a personal bias. It has nothing to do with football. I don't like Dave Gordon. I really haven't liked him.
I think he's a bit overrated.
They could be. Yeah, I think they could be second. I do know they're a tenacious team.
Yeah,
and he does a good job of making them mean as hell.
Well,
the way
plus
it needs to be.
NC State does have a favorable schedule this year. That's what really was the tipping point as far as why I put them in second spot. They have a really favorable schedule.
Yeah, I just like I like the fact that I'll give him one, accolade because I don't like him at all. But one thing he does, he teaches his team how to be a fighter.
Toughness.
And,
Toughness.
Yes, they fight. They don't quit, and they play hard. And I'll give him that. That's a good coach too to get somebody because they're not really a top power either. I mean, it's like they're not Miami, they're not Florida State, they're not Bama, but they play like it.
Yeah.
They don't have a talent, but they play
agree.
like it.
I remember a couple years ago whenever they were, a 2-point conversion away from beating Clemson? Or was it a missed field? No, a missed field goal. A missed field goal.
They should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have beaten. I mean, that was a game they should have won. And I remember winning that game, and I felt like it was a loss.
I know.
When you win a game, you just don't feel like you won. You just feel like, oh, God, they gave it to us.
Yeah.
North Carolina did that when they went for that 2-point conversion.
Oh, my gosh, I remember that too. Yes. Good one. Yeah, Clemson has been scared multiple times during their dominance, and they have been beaten during their dominance in the regular season.
Yep.
Pitt, Syracuse. So it can be done, folks.
Yes. So I'm looking at BC, and I'm a Clemson alumni, so I'm a Clemson fan. But I look at that BC game, and if you don't think that's danger, as a Clemson fan, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because they almost got us last year.
Y'all better bring your A game.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, hold my beer. That's what
Exactly.
in this game.
Boston College is one of those teams that they are so physical. And no, they don't score a ton of points, but they don't let you score a ton of points. Next thing you know, there's 3 minutes left in the game. You're down by 3 points, panicking because you haven't been able to score the entire game. And it comes down to you can't score that last touchdown that you need because they lull you to sleep, they physical you to sleep, and you're sitting there wondering what the hell happened because you lost by 3.
Right. It's the Paul Johnson in reverse.
Yes.
The Mr. Johnson. I mean, I swear to God, they do it on defense. They don't do it on offense. Johnson did it on offense.
Well, they run the ball on offense. That's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you remember Johnson? They would just time clock you to death.
Oh yes, they are really good at shrinking in the game.
Yeah, BC does that to you. Does on possessions.
Yes.
Time clock you just take your possessions away.
Yeah, they shrink the game, make it to where you have to score on whatever possession you have, because you're not going to have very many of them.
You get 8 in a game. Better use them wisely. That is it.
If you're lucky. If you're lucky. Yeah, man.
It's crazy. But anyway, I just wanted to call in and tell you it's a great channel. Love you. Love your channel. I love all the stuff you do. You do. I'm glad you slice up those videos, because there's a ton of content in there. I don't know if anybody sits and watches 2 or 3 of those. They go, "Damn, I feel like I got to go get an expansion on my brain capacity." There's a lot of detail.
I try to cram as much in there as I can. It takes about 4 hours to edit them things.
Woo.
But it's not work to me, man. I love it. And as long as they keep turning out halfway decent, I'll keep doing it.
Yep. It's all good. And but I'll let you roll. I don't want to hold up. I don't want to hog the line, y'all.
Yeah, I think Jeff Webster's about to have a hernia, so we need to let him on
here.
Let
him go. Let him in. All right, bye.
All right, man. Have a good one. Yep. All right, Jeff, you can call in now. The line is clear. And your name actually shows up. I hope he's still in here. Maybe he got mad and left. I don't know. If you're still in the chat, Jeff, give me a call. Lines are open. If it stays open for too long, I'll have somebody else call in. But I'm trying to designate this for Jeff real quick, because I know he tried to call in. He tried to call in right before Tiger got off, and then right after the last call. So his timing was just a little bit off. But right now, my one phone line is wide open. But this definitely reiterates the fact that I need to invest in a soundboard and get multiple lines, because this is a little tricky when you only have one line. I didn't realize that multiple people would be wanting to call in at the same time. I didn't think that far ahead. Now, I do have a separate phone, so I have 2 phones, and yes, my wife knows about it. It's part of the whole channel thing, trying to get more hotspot data. So what I might do, and that's not the phone that I usually use. I might actually use that as one of my lines. I'll have you call in. You'll still have to wait on the phone, but at least you'll be next. And so I'll just have to bounce back and forth, and you'll wait on this phone, then I'll get to that phone, and then you'll have to wait on this number, and back and forth, but like that. But at least you'll get on. You'll be waiting like normal, and you'll still be hearing the show too, because I'll have you on speaker as long as you're silent. Jeff, buddy, you still there, man? Phone lines are wide open. If he doesn't call, how about this? If he doesn't call in the next 2 minutes, I'll give him till 11:15. If he doesn't call in the next 2 minutes, y'all have at it. First come, first serve. But I'm trying to give him an opportunity. And real quick, I am going to repost. Hold on one second. Repost the well, that's not working anymore. Crap. Oh, there we go. Clipboard. So I'm reposting the PayPal link. Now, whatever you send to my PayPal, we're doing 20% going towards Uncle Lou's stay at the Slob Olympics. Now, the goal is we want him to stay for free. Lou has done a lot for this community, so this is my little way of trying to give back to him. So whatever you send to me via PayPal, 20% of that is going towards Lou's stay at, I believe it's Pigeon Forge. Yes, Pigeon Forge. Not Gatlinburg. Make that perfectly clear. Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge are 2 separate cities. Both of them are awesome, but they are separate. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. J-Dub, what's up, man?
Hey, Goldberg, you got a great show going on tonight, man. Tiger Baskin's starting you off good.
Oh, yeah. He shot this one off into the stratosphere.
I mean, this is a great stream. I mean, the countdown went off and this baby launched.
It did. It's I have a good feeling about this one. This whole
Well,
week,
I
I think it's going to be a good one.
I enjoyed the conversation. I went to look. I wasn't able to be on the morning shoe this morning, so I went and looked at it, and you must have played some music or something because they copyright blocked it, and I didn't get a chance to.
Well, I
get a chance to know what.
Yeah, I think what happened was he played. So we were talking about concerts and music and what concerts we were going to go to, and there was a couple of bands that I really didn't know about. So he's like, "All right, let me play this song." That's probably what it was. Literally my fault, you know. So it was because I didn't know who a certain band was, and he played a song, and bam, he got nailed.
Well, this gets misinterpreted all the time, but it is one of my favorite quotes from Shakespeare. Henry V, Act 2, Scene 2. First thing, we kill all the lawyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would get.
I wanted to chime in real quick about Bama, Miami. I think Miami's got one thing going great for them and one thing going bad against them.
Okay.
And the bad thing is Derek King, as great a talent as he is, he's not coming off a broken toe or a sprained ankle.
That's true.
He's coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
And that's big time bad. And if I'm Miami, if he's not 100%, I don't care if he's cleared to play, if he's not 100%, I don't risk him against Alabama, because in the long run, the Bama game means nothing to me if I'm Miami.
That's true. Yeah.
I want Derek King to win me my division, and I don't want to risk him out there against Will Anderson and Allen and the rest of the Bama defense, which is going to be way better than everybody thinks.
Oh, the defense.
I
Alabama's defense is going to be one of the best in the nation. There's no arguing about that. I agree with you 100%.
And I think the thing that Miami has going for them is the point you made, and Tiger made it too, and that is, you're getting Bama in week 1. Now, why that's always bad, because Saban's had 8 months to prepare. We know everything about what happens when Alabama plays in week 1. It's still a better situation this year to play Alabama in week 1 than it's going to be if you played them in, say, week 6 or week 7 after they've had a month and a half to get their new players in position and to get everything all greased up and rolling. I'd rather get Alabama now than later in the year.
I agree 100%. I know a lot of people are putting emphasis on how great Nick Saban is in that first game and game planning. I agree with that, but this is a completely different animal. This is two things coming together. Number one, Miami has one of the best teams that they've fielded in a long time. Yes, they did lose two of their best pass rushers on the D-line, but really their D-line didn't help them that much last year anyways. And then the other combination is Alabama lost their entire offense from last year. Alabama does reload. We know that. But new people take time to gel, and there's no cupcake game or lower class game for them to gel together. It's immediately against a very good opponent. I don't think Miami's elite, but I do think they're very, very good.
You know, I had a guy explain it to me this way about a week ago in a conversation we were having over in Iowa City. And he said, You ever get like one of them 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles and you're putting it together, and it's the first time it's the first time you've had it out of the box, you're putting it together.
Yeah.
And these two pieces go together. You got two pieces and they fit, okay? But it's a new puzzle, so it's the first time it's been put together. So you got to kind of push a little extra harder to get it to fit together. They do fit. They go there. They belong together. They're the right two pieces. But it's a little bit of a tight fit that first time.
And it's a new picture. You're going to get a new picture.
Yeah. And for Bama, I go back to 2015 with Jake Coker starting at quarterback. This is a reverse back to 2015 to where they are as far as how many new pieces they've got to put together. They haven't had to do this much work offensively. Now, we know how 2015 finished, but there was no guarantee it was going to finish that way.
Right.
And so, yeah, there's work to do. I've been saying on all the streams. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody is going to get them during the regular season. And the reason why I say so is you just look at the math. I mean, you look at the solar system and the planets go around the sun. Why? I don't know. Some invisible force. They just do. Okay, And do teams go undefeated in back-to-back seasons? Sometimes, about once every decade. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Somebody's going to get you. It's hard to be everybody's game of the year 12 weeks in a row.
Yep, exactly. The two games that I think that are back-to-back, they happen to be back-to-back, that I think Alabama will not get past unscathed is the home game against Ole Miss, and then right after that, the road trip to Texas A&M. Personally, I think it's the road trip to Texas A&M, and so I think Alabama picks up one loss in the regular season. I don't trust Texas A&M to win every game they're supposed to, so I still think Texas A&M will trip up and end up 10-2. Alabama gets to the SEC championship, but loses to Georgia and misses the playoffs.
Okay. See, I think if Bama trips up in the regular season, the game that scares me is down on the plains of hell, because they just no matter how good they are and how down Auburn is, Bama struggles in the house of Satan.
Yep.
And I mean they will be, especially if Bama comes into that game undefeated. Auburn will be so high, it'll be like they smoked the best grass ever. I mean, they'll be jacked to the wind, and anything. I mean, lots of stupid shit has happened in that stadium.
Oh my gosh!
Not just to Bama, to other teams too.
Yeah.
And that's what I worry about, and of course I worry about Georgia. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know Georgia's got a great team. I knew they'd be great when they got Kirby. I was like, okay, Kirby's going to leave us. Just don't go to Georgia. And shit, he went to Georgia.
Yeah. Well, that brings up
I knew what that meant.
That brings up an interesting scenario. So what could happen? Man, I didn't even think about this before. So what could happen is Alabama could roll into the Plains, play Auburn, a big-time rivalry. Auburn has their number this year, beats them. Alabama goes into the SEC championship and loses back-to-back games. What do you think?
Well, I won't be able to reply to that, because if Bama loses back-to-back games, I'll be dead.
Oh.
So I'll be dead of a massive coronary caused by disbelief. So you won't have to worry about. Everybody will say, "Oh, has J-Dub disappeared from the streams? He's ignoring us." No, he died. That's what happened. So I'm just letting everybody know ahead of time.
Well, see that because if Texas,
I see the scenario maybe slightly different than you do, Gold and Blue. I could see a one-loss Alabama facing an undefeated Georgia and beating Georgia, and now we go Georgia and Bama into the playoffs, taking Oklahoma and Ohio State with them.
I'm not sure about Ohio State.
Ohio State is going to beat Oregon and probably run the board. I hate to say it. I can't stand it.
I do think that they'll beat. Yeah, I do think they'll beat Oregon, but Ohio State's fielding a quarterback that hasn't thrown a collegiate pass for the first time in like 50 years.
Right.
The big trip up for Ohio State, I think they'll pick up one in the regular season. I don't have their schedule right in front of me, but I picked one loss. Can't remember. But then they picked their second loss at the Big Ten Championship against Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin has a big-time bounce-back year this year. They have all the pieces. The only thing that could hold them back on that would be Graham Mertz's inconsistency. But if he can work out all those kinks, I'm telling you, Wisconsin is primed to get to the playoffs for the first time ever. They could be that team that's never been to the playoffs since the playoffs started that makes it this year. They could be that team.
Right. I've got a friend here who put $100 down. He can win $1,800 if he's right.
Mm-hmm.
So his 18 to 1 was the bet, but he's got 100 down to win 18. He would profit 17.
Right. What's the bet?
If Iowa beats Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, no matter who, it doesn't matter what their records are. It's just a straight up Iowa beats Ohio State for the Big Ten title.
That's not.
Now, I think that's nuts, but he might win $1,700. I mean, who knows? There's dumber things have happened.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's a terrible bet, because in the West I do have, I have 1 Wisconsin, 2 Iowa. But would it shock me if Iowa beat Wisconsin and went to the Big Ten championship? No, it wouldn't. And would they be capable of beating Ohio State? Absolutely. I think Ohio State's going to be really, really good, but I don't think they're going to be elite like they have been in the past couple of years. So as far as rating that from a 1 to 10, as far as that's just a stupid, dumbass bet, so that's a brilliant bet, I would actually give that a 6. That's not a bad bet at all. That is very possible.
Well, it's not a bad bet considering what his payoff's going to be
Exactly.
if the stars line up.
Exactly.
I mean,
and the possibility isn't all that, ridiculous. It is possible, like very possible.
Yeah, it's not. It was, I'd say you were safer making that bet than if you would have said maybe Minnesota's going to beat.
Exactly. Or Nebraska.
Because then they'd have to, or Nebraska, right. So I mean, it's possible. I'll be on the sidelines photographing Iowa at Iowa State on week 2, and I'm looking forward to that because that game's going to tell us a lot about both of those teams.
Yeah.
And how much of a pretender and how much of a contender either one of them is.
That's going to be one heck of a game right there. I'm telling you.
Now, I was there. I watched Iowa State beat Spencer Rattler in Oklahoma last year in week 3. But that was Oklahoma in week 3, not Oklahoma in week 12, which they saw them again in the Big 12 title game. So I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying, this is college football. I don't care I don't care if you're Alabama. I don't care if you're Clemson. I don't care if you're East Tennessee Technical Institute for the polyurethanes or whatever the hell you are. Crazy shit can happen at any time, and the reason why it's crazy shit is because it's not supposed to, but it does.
Right.
Or we wouldn't say it's crazy. The unexpected is going to bite somebody in the ass every single year. And if you're one of those top teams, you just sit there praying each week it's not you.
I have this one big thing, this one big question about the Big 12. Okay, so that game between Iowa State and Oklahoma, we all know how difficult it is for a team to beat a really good team twice in the same year. And both of those two teams are really good this year. Should the team actually hope to lose that first game? Because they know they're going to have that rematch, and it's super difficult to beat a team twice. Should they actually take that loss first? I mean, I know they wouldn't do it on purpose, but would it be better for them to lose that game? That's an interesting dilemma right there.
It is. It might be, and that plays out whether you're talking about Oklahoma, Iowa State,
yes,
USC, Oregon. I mean, whoever you want to put into the equation.
Yeah.
The beat twice thing. That's a great point, Gold. I'm going to say this about the Cyclones, who I've been watching from the sidelines for 31 years now.
Wow.
Their linebacking core, led by all Big 12 linebacker Mike Rose, who had 5 interceptions last year.
People forget about him.
It is a top 2 or 3 linebacking core in the whole country.
Yes,
and
I agree.
Oh, it's Big 12, it's Iowa State. Go look up the numbers. Look at what Phil Steele had to say about him.
Yeah.
They are a legit linebacking core, and led by my buddy Greg Ainsworth, who I think is a great guy, one of my favorite players ever to cover. Their secondary is pretty good. So I think Iowa State's deep, and again, it's a Big 12 defense. I'm not trying to tell you they're a steel curtain or anything. That's not what I'm saying. It's going to be good enough that it might save them a couple times. And as you know, as somebody who follows the Big 12, Breece Hall is the player that nobody's talking about, who everybody should be talking about.
Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth. I have no idea why people don't talk about him.
The best running back in the country, period.
Agree, 100%. Yes. Why he's not higher in the Heisman running baffles me. It straight up baffles me. I think this dude could be as good, if not better, than Jonathan Taylor. I'm serious.
People may not realize this, but Iowa State's Troy Davis ran for 2,000 yards in back-to-back seasons when he was in Ames. For terrible Cyclone teams.
Yep.
Terrible teams. Hall, if everything goes right, and he's healthy and everything goes right, he's capable. I'm not saying he's going to. In fact, I'd be surprised if he did. But he's capable. The capability is there that he could run for 2,000 yards. And anybody who's paid attention to him would have to agree with that. That kind of, he could do it.
I would put money on that he surpasses 1,500. I would actually lay money on that. I would be comfortable doing that. Easily.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, the quarterback, is getting all the attention, but I think the real secret is Breece Hall.
Yes.
He's what's making that offense work. And a good set of tight ends, and led by Charlie Kohler and Breece Hall at running back. Is Iowa State a playoff team? No. Are they going to win the Big 12? I'd be shocked. But they're good enough to be a New Year's. They're good enough to be a New Year's Six team.
Yeah.
Which they were last year, and then they went out and doubled up Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl, 34-17. They're good enough to do that. And by Iowa State standards, we're talking about historically. I mean, not just a bad team. I mean, we're talking about historically one of the worst programs ever. I mean, the absolute bottom. I mean, like 102 out of 105. I mean, way the hell down there.
Didn't Matt Campbell take over a 3-loss team or a 3-win team? He took over a 3-win team, didn't he, Matt Campbell?
Yeah. He's won 35 games in 5 years, and in Ames, that's big news.
Yeah.
And here's my hot take, and I'll let you go because I'm sure other people are tired of hearing me and want to get on here. Last thing, just to let everybody in here know who hasn't heard me say it before, I don't want this, and I'm not predicting it, but don't be surprised. Harbaugh's out, Matt Campbell in at the end of this season.
Dude, you're still in video ideas now, man. Now you're still in video ideas. I agree with that. 100%.
Campbell's not leaving. I guarantee you. I've spoken to him several times on a man-to-man level, away from not talking football, just talking person-to-person, human being to human being. A great guy. His wife, an absolute angel. They are Midwesterners.
Yeah.
He's not going somewhere else. He's staying in the Midwest. Look at his past. Look at his roots. Look at where he's from.
It's true.
Mount Pleasant, Toledo. He's a Midwestern boy. If the Michigan job comes open, that's one of the plums he would take. It's going to take something like that for him to leave Ames.
Yeah, I agree.
But if Michigan came open, that's where Matt Campbell's going. He's not going to take a job at North Carolina State or
Florida. I don't think he would go to Florida.
Or someplace like that.
I don't think he would go to Florida. Yeah. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you go,
let
but
me get out of the way here. Let me get out.
Well, hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let Jeff go, but my bladder is really, really small, so I have to use the bathroom. So if I don't answer the phone, y'all, I'm taking a whiz, all right? I'll be right back, and it's going to be first come, first serve. So if you see my face coming back, that's when you need to call. Thank you for calling, Jeff. That was a great call. That was a great call.
Thanks
great
for
call.
having me, Gold.
All right, guys, I'll be right back, so No, I will not answer the phone in the bathroom. Yeah, I saw y'all complaining about my sunglasses. But yes, I am back. First come, first serve if you want to call back in. That was a great call. Not even gonna lie. That was a great call. I can't believe y'all are still up with me. That's pretty awesome. What's up? You're on with Golden Blue Dude.
Hey, Golden Blue Dude, this is JC.
What's going on, man?
Well, I just called in. I've been subscribed for a while, but I just thought I'd call in tonight.
I'm glad you did. What you want to talk about, bud?
I think I could see Clemson pulling off a slim victory over Georgia, and then Georgia coming back and running the table the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%.
11-1, and then Bama goes undefeated, of course, and then Georgia beats them in the SEC.
Yeah, that's
And
the
they
exact
both
scenario
get
that I
the
see.
playoffs.
Yeah, that's the exact scenario that I see. I think, but like I said with TB, the percentage that the FPI has given Georgia to beat Clemson, 28.7, way too low. I would have it in the 40s. But I do have Georgia losing that game. But after that, I think they run the table, and I do think that they win the SEC championship. I really do. Their schedule sets up nicely, and they're a really good team, and I think that they can beat Alabama in the SEC championship, or whoever comes out of the West, actually.
Yeah, I still think Bama will win the West, though.
Yeah, I think so too. But the caller before you did bring up an interesting point as far as, Alabama has had issues at Auburn. I don't think Auburn's going to be very good, but if Auburn were to be able to pull off that upset, and Texas A&M could kind of slide in there if they could somehow beat Alabama as well. A lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen.
That's true.
To me, Alabama is not the team where you could pencil them into the playoffs like you usually can. Usually, it's like, all right, one of these spots is Alabama's. Now it's, these other three. Well, Alabama and Clemson, and then we have two other spots. I don't think that's the case this year. Now, having said that, would it surprise me if they made the playoffs? course not. They are Alabama.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think anyone will get the beat on Alabama. I mean, I know the caller before, Jeff J Dub.
Yep.
He said that they might have a slip up, but I don't see them slipping that much. I mean,
Especially at
Saban's
home.
He's a genius at coaching.
Yeah. I don't think they lose at home for
He's been a
sure.
genius. Yeah. And I think if any team has a chance of beating Bama in the regular season, it's probably either Texas A&M or Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah.
But I still don't think that'll happen.
I think the biggest one, if I had to pick out one game, would be that road trip to Texas A&M. Earlier, I mentioned the back-to-back games, the home game against Ole Miss, and then the road trip to A&M. I think it's possible for Ole Miss to beat them, but I think it's less likely than the road trip to A&M. But Ole Miss could soften them up a little bit, and then that's what causes A&M to be able to pull off the Mount upset. Because I still think Alabama, because at that point Alabama would still be undefeated, so I still think they would be, the favorite. So it could be a Mount upset.
Yeah, and I think just something I wanted to throw out there. I do think that West Virginia will be a lot better than most think they'll be this year.
I agree, of course.
So good luck to your West Virginia.
Well, here's the thing. Let me break this down real quick, all right? So people are used to what they saw under Dana Holgorsen. I mean, Dana Holgorsen was there for almost a decade, and that's what people have gotten used to as far as West Virginia. Good, but never elite. And then that first year that Neil Brown was there, we had a terrible year because we were left with nothing because Dana Holgorsen never recruited above a top 40 recruiting class. Well, this year, only in his third year.
If I remember correctly, wasn't that first year that he took over, that was kind of like one of their rebuilding years as well.
Yes, exactly. The cupboard was bare. Well, this will be the start of his third coaching year. Top 25 recruiting class, the first one since 2009. And here's the thing. West Virginia used to do that all the time, but people got used to Dana Holgorsen's mediocre 40s classes. So they forgot that West Virginia can recruit in the top 25. And that's what Neil Brown is getting us back to. And that's what I'm the most excited about, our recruiting.
Yeah, I see where y'all have improved a lot. But I'll let you get to other callers. I just wanted to call in and talk a little bit about that.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a good night.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, I apologize. It's getting late. I'm sorry if you try to call in. I'm not answering more calls. But the good news is, there is good news. Another live show tomorrow night. That's right. Another live show tomorrow night. We're still building up to the Saturday live show with Mark Rogers. It's going to be fantastic. We already have some subjects we're going to talk about. The dude is a human encyclopedia whenever it comes to college football. And by the way, I saw a comment earlier, did I wash my hands? Absolutely, all the time. I wash my hands every time I use the bathroom. Public restroom or home restroom, every time. You can ask my wife. But anyways, I appreciate everybody's support. If I wasn't tired, because I did have to work, I don't get paid enough from YouTube to quit my job yet. I still had to work. Little tired, but I'm all right. I'll be back tomorrow. Since I don't have to work tomorrow, I might try to go on at 9 o'clock, and we'll get this party started a little bit earlier. So, if you're still here, bud, if you're available at 9 o'clock, call in whenever I open the show. I'll give you your minutes, and then afterwards, everybody else. If I start at 9, I will get way more callers in tomorrow. I promise, guys. And, of course, I am going to invest in a soundboard so I can have more than one line, because it is a little tricky. I do have my second phone, so I am going to do that. we'll see how that turns out. But this was a great show, guys, and it was because of you. I appreciate it. Thank you to Tiger Baskins. Hold on one second. He wanted me to play his song real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Let me find it real quick. Where you at, man? Should be on the top. There he is. All right, so I think this is the new one. Hopefully the volume will be up loud enough. Hold on. Let me retype it. All right, let me make sure the volume's up. Here we go. On the Way Out, Tiger Baskins.
TV is the one that they believe in. I'm thinking that they dreaming. These fans, I got them screaming. Got me looking up the meaning of Messiah. I say I
Y'all have a good night.
Like chess hall squeaking by in his 95 Honda. But he's not fond of where he belongs. I mean, I want the best for him like Salito wants spaghetti from his mom. Cause he got a bone he's yet to pick. I don't know what it is, but I know it make him out like a dick. I guess they'll cry now. This is the moment Tiger Baskins ain't shine down. This time I'm raising eyebrows. I am the spitting image, yeah, I am the realest. That's why I'm steady spitting when your new man can't even keep a pension. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I was 10, I was heating up water in the kitchen so I could bathe. Having hot water was a vision. Focused on the mission, you all should listen. When I make it big, I'm gonna share the digits. Yeah, I'm gonna share the comments. Can't wait to get the messages from the girls that I always wanted. It's kinda crazy, but it's funny. Maybe they just after Tiger Baskins and his money. A bunch of gold diggers. I'd rather choose the hive just cause I like the taste of honey. Who am I? I'm someone who has held these tears inside. Yeah, I weep. While in bed I see these demons reaching for my feet. I cover my head while praying to my God. I know what it means. I know how it sounds. I know I'm not perfect. So even though I make mistakes, I know I'm worth it. So deserving enemies who act as friends. Cause selfish people really stay lurking. Excuses for days until they need you. Yeah, they hurting cause you on the verge of standing up while you surfing. And they hate seeing you succeed. So they throw rocks when they see you in person. They use it in the form of words and disguise it as they're imperfect. That's the devil working. They try to play the victim. But bullshit is the only thing to me that I'm allergic to. TV, this rap shit is easy. I'm like a surgeon, so don't bother me while I am working. You should see my precision. You should see my decision. Gained this dream when I was 9. And since then I've been a bottle of wine. Getting finer over time. Both my parents are deaf, so the language is in the signs. Yeah, one of a kind, making dreams come true.
I appreciate y'all, my YouTube community, and everything that y'all do. TB out.
Y'all have a good